welcome back to my Fortune and Glory playthrough. We're about to begin turn 6. One little thing, a couple of episodes ago, Angel had passed a cliffhanger danger, and immediately after he passed a cliffhanger danger, you are supposed to collect the glory right away. And I didn't do that, and she lost the 2. So I'm giving her the 2 right now. Okay, let's begin. Right into initiative phase. And both of them before, so we'll roll again. And this time, Angel's going first. Now, if you roll a 1 on an initiative roll-off, you do not get the event card. All right, so I'm just going to do movement again. So Lee is white, Angel red. And Lee moves 3, and Angel gets to move 4. All right, so Lee is going to move 3 spaces. And she is just going to go right here on Tokyo, because I think I want her to try and sell her artifact this time, make some money. And Angel gets to move 4 spaces, and I'm actually going to have her go 1, 2, and go over to Berlin, where she will then possibly be able to sell her artifact off as well. Okay, that was basically the initiative phase, the movement phase, and we're going to get into the adventure phase this time, and it looks like they're both going to be in cities, so they're going to have city adventures. So it'll be the first time in the game. Anyway, we're playing against the Crimson Hand. They're currently at 9 points, on their way to 15, and we only have 4 fortune, but we may be able to cash in big time on the artifacts we got last turn. All right, let's get to the adventure phase. Okay, we're back, and it's the adventure phase, and Lee is going to be going second, I believe, this time. So Angel is up. She is now in a city space. She is over in Berlin, and the first thing we do in a city space is we have a city adventure. So what happens to her? Bad press. Okay, this does not sound good. It says, one of your rivals has spread rumors about you around town. Immediately lose D6 glory. Well, this is a cooperative game. However, I'm going to follow this. She loses D6 glory. That's pretty sad. That reduces her buying ability a little bit. So let's see. How much glory is she going to lose? 4. Huh. So much for having collected a whole pile of glory. She's going to lose 4 of it right now. Okay, that's her city adventure. Now, she can continue to do stuff in the city. She can buy gear. First thing she's going to do, though, is she's going to sell the Ring of the Golden Mummy. It is worth 4, but because she's in a major city, which is Berlin, she gets +1 for it. So she's going to actually get 5 fortune for selling that, which brings our grand total up to 9 fortune now. So that is great. It's good for our adventurers. Okay. And basically that, well, let's see, does she want to buy something? I believe she does. And her special ability is she may buy gear cards for 2 less glory than normal. Gear cards cost 5. She actually has a total of 6. So she could actually buy 2 gear cards for her 6 glory. And you know what? Let's gear up. You're allowed to have 3 gear and 3 allies in the game at the same time. So she's going to spend the 6 glory she has. She's going to grab 2 gear, so let's see what she gets. She gets driving gloves, which add +2 adventure dice during driving and flying tests. And once per sneak test, you may force a single die to be re-rolled. So driving gloves, those are good things to have. And her second piece of gear is adventure boots. She gets +1 agility, so that's also a good thing. All right, boosting her stats a little bit and letting some of the dangers be a little bit easier. All right, that's Angel Espinosa in her city adventure. And now we have Lee, and she's over in Tokyo, and she also is in a city. So her adventure phase starts with a city card. Oh, man. Okay, just another day in the city. You may fully heal. Well, I'm playing with Treasure Hunters and Crimson Hand expansions, and one of the expansions is when you pull this Just Another Day in the City card, you immediately have a major city epic event happen. So what we need to do here is we need to look on the thing here, and we find Tokyo. So something, I suppose, good can happen and something awful can happen. So we roll a 6-sided dice and we'll consult that chart. Okay, so Lee gets a 6. I believe that's going to be something fairly good. So let's have a look here. So for Tokyo, it's the Cherry Blossom Festival. Well, that sounds great. Tokyo's Cherry Blossom Festival is in full swing, filling the air with beautiful pink petals and jubilation. Draw 3 event cards. Well, Lee is certainly our event card drawer for this game. So she gets 3 event cards. Now this may be good or bad. Events can be good or bad. So her first event is just a scratch. Whenever she takes a wound, she can prevent a wound. She can prevent that wound. So that, not a bad card to have. Her second event card, Volcanic Eruption. Play on any hero, enemy, or villain in a mountain space. Then immediately take d6 hits. Okay. Or while in a mountain space, gain 3 glory. Okay, so she can play that. Do we have anyone? Oh, we do have the Inquisitor in a mountain space. I'll have to take a quick review here. And Gear Up. Play on any hero to allow them to immediately draw a gear card, or play to give an ally +2 loyalty. Well, she's going to play that Gearing Up card on herself right now. So what she's going to do, so that was basically her city event. So now she can interact with the city. So first thing she's going to do is Gear Up. And you can do these in any order. So she grabs a gear, and of course she gets the Bullwhip. And that's going to give her a +1 combat. And once per fight round, you may force an opponent to reroll one of their fight dice. I don't think we want to get in fights with villains, but a Bullwhip, not a bad thing to have. Gives her +1 combat. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell her artifact. And she's selling the Amulet of the Pale Moon, and it's worth 4. She's in a major city. That allows her to collect 5 fortune for that. So that also is a very good thing. Our adventuring heroes now get another 5 fortune. I'll stick that on Lee's card. The nice thing about that is we are now at 14. All right, I'm just going to consult some of these other cards and see if she wants to play any more of these cards. She's got a whole pile of them. Be right back. Okay, so Lee has a whole mitt full of event cards. The first one she's going to play here, she's going to use the bottom part of the text, and it says play while in a city during your adventure phase, which is right now, to gain 3 glory. So she's going to play that card right now, and she will gain 3 glory. So instead of 4, now she has a total of 7, which is nice. She might be able to then buy a gear card. Now the next one she's going to play is the Volcanic Eruption, and it says play on an enemy, or hero, enemy, or villain. So she's going to play this on the Inquisitor, who's in a mountain space, and they immediately take d6 hits, and any tempo there collapses on a d6 roll of 4+. So he is not at a temple. However, he's going to take d6 hits. So let's see if we can whack-a-mole the Inquisitor for lots of damage. And he's going to take 5 damage. That's a nice solid. We're going to use one of these big tokens that designates 5 hits, and we're going to stick that right on the Inquisitor. He has a total of 8 hits, so he takes 3 more hits, and he's out of here. Now, the last card she's going to play, before buying a gear, of course, is she's going to use this. Play on a hero, enemy, or villain. So she's going to play on the villain, which is Crowley, out in deepest, darkest Africa, and he's going to take d6 hits. So, let's see. She's just powering up with the skill card, or the event cards, and he's going to take 4 hits. Now that's pretty good. So he only has a total of, I believe, 6 hit points? 7. Well, he takes 4. So that smacks him down pretty good. Okay, so she still has event cards left, but what she's going to do now is she's going to spend 5 fortune, and she's going to buy a gear. And what does she get for a gear? She gets a wrench. And it gives her +1 combat, and it says discard to cancel an event, villain event, or city card. Wow, she can cancel a villain event. That is very, very good. So far things are looking up for our heroing adventurers, or adventuring heroes, or whatever you want to call them. We have cashed in a couple of artifacts. We are now up to 14 fortune. And yeah, now she's on a dock space, But I decided, because I wanted to sell off these artifacts and get the fortune in our pockets, to not do the dock event. What you have to do if you want to uncover one of these dock markers is you have your city event, then you must uncover the dock marker, and it has a random event underneath it. Then you can interact with the city. So I opted not to do that. Anyway, wow, we've had a pretty good turn here. But unfortunately now we turn it over to the villains. So let's head to the villain phase. And of course with the villain phase, the first thing we do is we draw a villain event card. Now remember, Lee has a card that can cancel this if it's extremely nasty. Hunter. This card plays on a random villain in play, and then it remains in play. So this random villain will get a +1 search. I think this is okay. It's not great, but it's okay. So I'm going to say Crowley is a 1 to 2, the Inquisitor is a 3 to 4, and Joey Smiles is a 5 or 6. So the Inquisitor, wow, he really needs it, is going to get this card. So he is going to have a permanent +1 search attached to him. So away we go. The Inquisitor's search value now is 6. Wow, and that's unpleasant for us. Okay, the next thing we have to do is we need the outpost phase. Now, unfortunately, we do have 2 acolytes out on the board, so we're going to have 2 dice rolled. On a 4, 5, or 6, more acolytes come out. So we're going to get 1 more acolyte coming out, and that's bad. And they're going to go on the lowest cost available space, which is going to be the Shadow of the Monkey God. And that's way up here in Siberia. So now we have another acolyte up there trying to get artifacts. Okay. Now it is the villain adventure step. Now, as we recall, Crowley out here is lost in the jungle trying to find this temple. He needs to roll, now he will roll 2 dice, because there are 2 exploration markers on the area. He needs a 4, 5, 6 to find the place. And of course, as we thought, he finds it. So I get rid of the exploration markers. He has now found it. And I guess he's going to begin adventuring here. Now, it is a temple. It's the Tomb of the Golden Sun. And his search value, now he has a special text on his card. He gains +1 search for each artifact that the Crimson Hand has. The Crimson Hand has already collected the Gloves of Illusion. So he, instead of his search value being 3, he now has a search value of 4. So he's going to roll 4 dice. He's going to have a success on a 4, 5, and 6. Wow. So he gets 3 successes, which means 3 fortune comes off Tomb of the Golden Sun and goes over to the Crimson Hand area, headquarters, and we get 3 success markers, and they are going to be placed on the temple. The temple has a danger level of 4, and actually adding 3 more was going to be just enough right now to put a collapse token on it. So I'm going to do that. Put 1 collapse token on it, and we roll for collapse. So let's cross our fingers. Let's hope this thing comes down and crushes Crowley. All right. A 1 or 2 and it collapses. Oh, darn it. It doesn't collapse. It's a pretty stable place, apparently. Okay. So that is Crowley's adventure step. Now we're over to the Inquisitor, and he has that special bonus that he just got, so he's going to be rolling 6 dice. Yikes, that is really rotten. And he is busy looking for the crown of Atlantis. This is bad for us, and he gets 1, 2, 3 successes. Well, guess what? They only needed 3 successes total. Now the acolyte that was on there goes away. And they have just retrieved the crown of Atlantis. And that's bad news, bad news. And it has 2 symbols here. And so that's going to add to the power of the Crimson Hand. And we'll get to that. I will show you that when we go to the Crimson Hand headquarters area. Okay, wow, bad, bad, bad. Okay, so with all that said and done, that is the Inquisitor's exploration adventure phase. And now we have Joey Smiles, who was getting indoctrinated back at the Crimson Hand headquarters, and he is now coming out on the board, and the only place he can come out that's available is, boom, the Mask of Power over in the Andes. And things not looking too great for us. All right, now we're going to go over to the artifact area and do the updates there. Okay, so here we are at the artifact area, and we have two lovely acolytes doing their best to plunder the riches of the game. So this first acolyte here is going to have a success put on the Shadow of the Monkey God. So we'll put one success token on there, a total of 4 for that one. And this acolyte is at the tomb, and he's going to have one more success put on that, Tomb of the Golden Sun. So he's helping out Crowley, which of course we don't like. And of course, doing that, he plunders one of the fortune, which goes over to the Crimson Hand headquarters. Now, we do have one artifact to replace, so we're going to do that right now. And we have, coming up next, we have the Book of Ferox. And the special text in this is, when you have this artifact, you may heal D6 wounds when you defeat an enemy in a fight. Okay, sounds good. All right, where is that going to be? That is going to be located in Arabia. Okay, well, maybe Lawrence is over there. All right, good stuff. All right, that basically takes care of our artifact area. Now we have to go over and do the unfortunate business of looking at the Crimson Hand headquarters, the bad part of the game. Okay, so here we are at the headquarters of the Crimson Hand. And first thing we notice is they actually have 4 fortune collected this turn, so 3 of them will be cashed in for 1 point. Alright, so they go from 9 to 10. Don't like that. The other unfortunate business that happened this turn is they retrieved the Crown of Atlantis. And what I should do is, of course, the Inquisitor retrieved that. He comes off the board and goes back on his card in the readied state because he successfully collected it. Now, we know from last time that this symbol here, according to the Crimson Hand, gives them villains a +1 fight and enemies a +1 fight that are associated. If we look at the card here, it says all Crimson Hand villains and enemies are +1 fight dice. Now the unfortunate thing is the Crown of Atlantis has a couple more symbols on it. It has this little might symbol and the Ankh symbol on it. Now what does that do for the Crimson Hand? Unfortunately not good things. First one says, the little might symbol, Crimson Hand acolytes add an extra success each turn to collecting the artifact later on. So instead of 1, they're going to now do 2 successes a turn. Oh, that is bad. And the Ankh symbol, all rolls on the Crimson Hand tactics chart are +1 on the roll. Very bad. And I forgot to add the 2 for collecting the artifacts, so they go from 10 to 12. Wow, they are 3 away from winning. And let's go back to the board, do a bit of a recap, and try and figure out what we'll do next time. So here we are back at the game board. The recap, we now, our adventuring heroes, have a total of 14 fortune. They need, of course, 20 to win. The Crimson Hand is up to 12. They only need 15 to win, so they get 3 more and they're going to win. Wow, this is, in my estimation, getting pretty close. I'm not sure if our heroes, adventuring heroes, can pull this off, but of course they're going to give it their best try. All right, so we have Crowley out here. He's found the temple now. He's plundering it as fast as he can. He has an acolyte helping him. Joey Smiles has now come onto the board. He's going to be looking for the Mask of Power. The Inquisitor has already collected something, and he'll be coming out next turn. He won't be adventuring, though, but he will be coming back to the board. So things looking not too good. Very close game, I think. Like I said, I've never beaten the Crimson Hand. I'm going to give it my best try. Anyway, that was the end of turn 6. Wow. Okay. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Join me next time for turn 7. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching.